Om Shanti. 29th May 2020. Babdada Sakar Murli. In the essence, Baba says, sweet children, you should have the intoxication that Shiva, whom everyone worships, has become your father, and that you are now personally sitting in front of him. Question: why do people ask God for forgiveness? Are they really forgiven? Answer: people believe that God will punish them through Dharmaraj, the supreme judge, for the sins they have committed. This is why they ask for forgiveness. However, they have to suffer for their sins in the form of the suffering of karma. God does not give them any medicine. They have to experience punishment in the jail of a womb. They receive visions of the things they did. Because you didn't follow God's directions, this is the punishment for it. Song: you wasted the night in sleeping and the day in eating. Om Shanti. Who said this? The spiritual father said this. He is the highest on high father. He is higher than all human beings and also higher than all souls. There is a soul in each one. You receive bodies in order to play your parts. You can now see how much regard there is for the bodies of the sannyasis, etc. People praise their gurus, etc. so much. This unlimited Father is incognito. You children understand that Shiv Baba is the highest on high. There is no one higher than him. Dharamraj is with him. This is why people on the path of devotion ask for forgiveness. Oh God, forgive me. But what can God do? Here the government would put someone in jail. That Dharmaraj will give punishment in the jail of a womb. The consequences of the actions performed have to be suffered, and this is called the suffering of karma. You now know who suffers for their actions and what happens. People say, oh God, forgive me. Remove my pain and sorrow and grant me happiness. Does God give you medicine? He can't do anything. So why do they ask God for that? Because Dharmaraj is also with God. When you do something wrong, there definitely has to be suffering for it. Punishment is received in the jail of a womb. Visions are given of everything you have done. Punishment would not be given without first showing you visions of what you did. There is no medicine, etc. in the jail of a womb. Punishment has to be experienced there. When they experience sorrow, they say, God, liberate me from this jail. In front of whom are you children now sitting? The Father is the highest on high, but he is incognito. Everyone else's body is visible, whereas here Shiv Baba doesn't have his own hands or feet. Who would accept the flowers, etc.? If he wanted to, he would have to accept them through this one's hand. However, he doesn't accept anything from anyone. Just as Shankaracharya says that no one should touch him, so too the Father says, how can I take anything from impure ones? I don't need flowers, etc. On the path of devotion, temples to Somnath, etc. are built and flowers are offered. However, I do not have a body of my own. How could anyone touch the soul? He says, how can I accept flowers from impure beings? No one can even touch him. Impure ones are not allowed to touch him. Today they may be saying Baba, whereas tomorrow they would become resident of hell. Baba wouldn't even look at such ones. The father says, I am the highest on high. According to the drama, I also have to uplift the sannyasis, etc. No one knows me at all. People worship Shiva, but they don't know that he is the God of the Gita and that he comes here to give us this knowledge. Krishna's name has been put in the Gita. If Krishna gave the knowledge, that would Shiva have been doing. Therefore, some people think that he never comes at all. Oh, but you wouldn't call Krishna the purifier. I am called the purifier. It is also only a few of you who are able to have so much regard. He remains so simple and explains, I am the father of all the sages, etc. I am also the father of every single soul, even Shankaracharya, etc. Of course, the fathers of their bodies are physical, but I am the father of all souls. Everyone worships me. I am now sitting here personally in front of you. However, not all of you understand who it is you are sitting in front of. Souls have been used to being body conscious for birth after birth. Therefore, they are unable to remember the Father. They continue to look at the body. If they became soul conscious, they would be able to remember their Father and follow his Srimad. The Father says, everyone is making effort to know me. Only those who become completely soul conscious by the end will pass. A little body consciousness will remain in the rest. The Father is incognito. You cannot give him anything. Daughters can go to the temples of Shiva to explain. It is you Kumaris who give Shiv Baba's introduction. Of course, there are both Kumars and Kumaris. Kumars must have also given the introduction to others. Mothers are especially uplifted because they have done greater service than men. Therefore, you children should have a keen interest in doing service. Just as there is a keen interest in other studies, that is physical, whereas this is spiritual. By studying a physical education and learning drill, etc., you receive nothing. For instance, when a couple have a child, they would celebrate his naming on the 6th day with a lot of pump and show, etc. But what would he receive? There isn't enough time for him to attain anything. Anyone who departs from here now would also have to take rebirth, but he would not be able to understand anything. Anyone who studied here and left his body would go and remember Shiv Baba in his next childhood according to what he had learned. This is a mantra. If you try to teach a small child, he is not going to understand anything about a tiny point, etc. He would simply say, Shiv Baba, remember Shiv Baba and you will receive the inheritance of heaven. If you explain to him in this way, he would be able to go to heaven, but he wouldn't be able to claim a high status. There are many such children who come and continue to say, Shiv Baba, then their final thoughts will lead them to their destination. A kingdom is being established. People worship Shiva, but they don't know anything. Just as little children continue to say Shiva, but don't understand anything. So here, too, people worship him, but don't have that recognition. Therefore, you should tell them, the one whom you worship is the ocean of knowledge and he is the God of the Gita. He is teaching us. No other human beings in the world would say, that Shiv Baba is teaching them Raj Yoga. Only you children know this, but nevertheless, you forget it. God speaks, I teach you Raj Yoga. Who said God speaks? Lust is the greatest enemy and it has to be conquered. Renounce the old world. Hatha yogis are limited renunciates. That one is Shankaracharya and this one is Shivacharya. Shiv, the teacher. He is teaching us. You cannot say Krishnacharya. That Krishna is the teacher. He is a small child. There is no need for this knowledge in the golden age. You children can do very good service wherever there are temples to Shiva. Go to Shiva's temples. If the mothers go there, that is good. But if the Kumaris go there, that is even better. Tell them, we now have to claim our fortune of the kingdom from Baba. The Father is teaching us and we will then become emperors and empresses. The Father is the highest on high. No human being could give us such teaching. This is the Iron Age. It was their kingdom in the Golden Age. How did they become the king and queen? Who taught them Raj Yoga so that they become the masters of the Golden Age. The one whom you are worshipping is teaching us and making us into the masters of the Golden Age. Establishment takes place through Brahma, sustenance through Vishnu. Those who belong to impure family path then go and belong to the pure family path. They say, Baba, make us improve impure ones pure. Purify us and make us into deities. There too it is a family path. They have no desire to become gurus of the path of isolation. You can become gurus of those who become pure. There are many such complaints who don't get married for wives. There are many such companions who don't get married for wives. Therefore, you children can do all these types of service. There should be this keen interest within you. Why should we not become Baba's worthy children and go and do such service? Destruction of the old world is in front of you. Shiv Baba says, Krishna can't exist here. He only comes once in the golden age. He cannot have the same features and the same name in the another birth. In 84 births, he would have 84 features. Krishna cannot teach this knowledge to anyone. How could that Krishna comes here? You now understand all of these things. For half the cycle you have very good births and then the kingdom of Ravan begins. Human beings become absolutely like animals. They continue to fight and quarrel with one another. It is the birth of Ravan, is it not? However, it isn't that a soul takes 8.4 million births. There are so many varieties of species, but that doesn't mean that souls take that many births. The Father sits here and explains all of this. He is God, the highest on high. He teaches us and there is this one next to him. If you do not study well, you become someone's maid or servant. Would you become a maid or servant to Shiv Baba? The Father explains. Since you do not study, you will go and become maids or servants in the golden age. What would someone become if he doesn't do any service at all, but simply eats, drinks and sleeps? It enters your intellect what you will become, and yet you feel, I will become an emperor. They won't even come in front of Baba. They understand for themselves that they would become, but they still don't feel any shame. They don't understand that they have to make progress and attain something for themselves. This is why Baba says, do not think that it is this Brahma who tells you these things. Always consider it to be Shiv Baba who is telling you. You have to have regard for Shiv Baba. Otherwise, a lot of punishment will have to be experienced from Dharmaraj. Dharmaraj is with him. Kumaris have to become very clever. It shouldn't be that you hear something here, but as soon as you go outside it's all finished. There is so much expansion on the path of devotion. The Father says, now renounce poison, become residents of heaven, create such slogans. Become courageous, Lannis. You have found the unlimited Father. Therefore, why should you go concerned about anything else? The government does not believe in religion. So how would they come here to change from humans into deities? They say, we don't believe in any specific religion. We consider everyone to be one and the same. In that case, why are you fighting and quarreling? There is falsehood, and nothing but falsehood everywhere. There is not a trace of truth anywhere. The first lie begins with the lie of saying that God is omnipresent. There is no such religion as Hinduism. Christians have their own religion. They do not change themselves, their religion. It is only these people of Bharat who change their religion and say that they are Hindus. Just look at the names they give themselves. Shri, Shri, so and so. However, no one can be Shri that is elevated at this time. No one can even give Shrimat. Those are just their iron-aged directions. How can you say that that is Shrimat? If you Kumaris become alert and active, you can explain to anyone. However, very good and clever Yogyukt daughters are needed. Acha. To the sweetest, beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance and good morning from the mother, the father, Bap Dada. The spiritual father says Namaste to the spiritual children. The spiritual children in return to the spiritual father says good morning, Namaste, Namaste, Namaste. Essence for Dharana. Point number 1. In order to make progress, remain engaged in the Father's service. Simply to eat, drink and sleep means to lose your status. Point number 2. Have regard for the Father and His teachings. Make full effort to become soul conscious. Imbibe the Father's teachings and become a worthy and obedient child. Blessing. May you easily become complete and make Maya your servant by offering yourself for world service. May you easily become complete and make Maya your servant by offering yourself for world service. Now surrender all your time, attainments, knowledge, virtues and powers for world service. Whatever thought you have, check whether it is for world service. By offering everything for service, you will easily become complete. With your love for service, the small papers or tests that come will automatically surrender themselves. You will then not be afraid of Maya, but will always be victorious and continue to dance in happiness. You will experience Maya to be your slave. When you surrender yourself to service, Maya will automatically surrender herself to you. The slogan. Close your mind with introspection and anger will finish. Close your mind with introspection and anger will finish. Om Shanti. Thank you.